What's up, my pretties? It's the Queen of Lions here, and welcome back to another episode of Shaz and Pretties. And today, this is episode 133. So today, we are going to be doing Muppet a Muppet movie, a Christmas Muppet movie called Muppet Christmas Carol. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest that this is actually a pretty good movie that came out in 1992. Now, if you were a kid around the 90s and early 2000s, you might have remembered seeing this, watching this on VHS or DVD from when you were a kid. I know it was released in theaters at the time, so there's definitely that. It was, a modest box office success that received mostly positive reviews. And it is the first Muppets film to be produced by Walt Disney Pictures, whose parent company would later acquire the Muppet franchise later in 2004. So, the Muppet Christmas Carol is based on, it's based on the A Christmas Carol movie story that came out in 1843 by Charles Dickens, and it stars Michael Caine as, Ebenezer Scrooge, or the along with, the Muppets. So, with that being said, Ed, let's get to this. So the Muppets Christmas Carol follows Charles Dickens' original story closely. It is the fourth theatrical film in the Muppet franchise, first to be produced following the death of Muppets creator Jim Henson. And the performer Richard Hunt is the film dedicated to them both. So, what is the Muppets Christmas Carol, you guys may be asking, for those who haven't watched the movie in years? Well, it's a Christmas movie that came out in 1992 on December 11th, perfect around the Christmas holiday time. It's perfect for the Christmas holidays. I mean, we got all the Muppet characters. You probably know who they all are, like Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Kermit the Frog. We also have Rizzo the Rat, Gonzo, and you get all the Muppet characters in there. And I mean, they're pretty good and well made. Now, the talent agent named Bill Happer approached Henson's son Brian with the idea of filming an adaptation of The Christmas Carol, and it was shortly sometime after Jim Henson's death, which I think it's pretty neat. So the English actors, they had, certain people, trying to have the role for the Scrooge. Like, a comedian, George Carlin, was going to consider portray the Scrooge, but Henson later offered the role to Michael Caine. As well, we know David Hemmings and Ron Moody also were given, some roles to, perform for the Scrooge. I mean, to be honest, this Walt Disney Pictures appeared to have high expectations for the film. Now, it's pretty interesting of how they decided to have the production, and it was made sometime in the early 90s, and it was finished by sometime in 1992, which is pretty neat, to be honest. I mean, there's some key people who did play as them, for an example, Belle, who was Scrooge's love interest at the time, and we have, the Ghost of the Christmas Past, which I thought that was pretty interesting to see. And I mean, they got some really good acting right there and got really good actors to play the human characters, while the original characters play, the actors for the Muppets. So, with enough rambling, let me get started with the Muppet Christmas Carol movie. So it takes place on Christmas Eve in the 19th century in London, where Charles Dickens, played by the great Gonzo, and his friend Rizzo arrive to act as narrators throughout the film, as Michael Caine's character, Ebenezer Scrooge, cold-hearted and bad-tempered and selfish moneylender, does not share merriment of Christmas. Scrooge eventually rejects his nephew Fred's invitation to a Christmas dinner, and he dismisses two gentlemen played by Dr. Benson Honeydew and Beaker, collecting money for charity, and tosses a wreath at the carol-singing Bean Bunny. Now, however, his loyal employee, Bob Cratchit, played by Kermit the Frog, and the other bookkeepers request to take Christmas Day off since there will be no business for Scrooge on that day, which he reluctantly agrees. Scrooge eventually leaves home while the bookkeepers celebrate Christmas in his house. Scrooge encounters the shackled ghosts of the late business partners, Jacob and Robert Marley, played by Stalter and Waldorf. Yeah, I do apologize. I kind of meant to get Waldorf's name wrong. Who warned them about the represent of his wicked ways, or he'll be condemned to suffer for in the afterlife as they do. They inform that their free spirits will come and visit them during the night. And exactly at 1 o'clock, Scrooge is visited by a childlike ghost of the Christmas past, who takes him back to his childhood and early adulthood. With Dickens and Rizzo hitching a ride too, they eventually visit his lonely school days, and then at the time when his employee under Fozziwig, or Mr. Nigel Fizzywing, the original story, played by Fozzie Bear, who owned a rubber chicken factory, Fozzie and his mother-in-law throw a Christmas party where Scrooge meets a young woman named Belle, who he falls in love with. However, though, the ghost shows Scrooge on how Belle left him after he chose money over her, so Scrooge dismisses the ghost as he returns to the present. So at 2 o'clock, Scrooge meets the gigantic ghost of the Merry Christmas present, who shows him the joys and wonders of Christmas Day. Scrooge and the ghost visit Fred's house, where Scrooge is made fun of for his stinginess and in general ill to work towards all. Scrooge and the spirits then visit Bob Cratchit's house, learning his family, like Miss Cratchit, who is played by Miss Piggy, is content with her small dinner. Scrooge also takes pity on Bob's ill son, Tiny Tim, played by Robin the Frog. Now, the ghost, host of the Christmas present, abruptly ages, commenting that Tiny Tim will most likely not survive until not the next Christmas. Now, Scrooge and the ghost go to a cemetery where the later fades away, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come. He then approaches Scrooge, appearing as tall and silent cloaked figure, then takes Scrooge into the future. So Scrooge and the ghost witness a group of businessmen discussing the death of the unnamed colleague, saying that he would only attend the funeral if lunch was provided. Then in the den, Scrooge realizes that his chairwoman and his laundress and the local undertaker trading several stolen possessions of the deceased to a fence named Old Joe. The ghost then transports Scrooge to Bob's house, revealing that Tiny Tim has died, and Scrooge is escorted back to the cemetery, where the ghost points out his own grave, revealing Scrooge as the man who died, overcome with remorse, and Scrooge tearfully vows to change his ways. So, awakening in the bedroom on Christmas Day, Scrooge decides to surprise Bob's family with a turkey dinner and ventures himself with Bean, Dickens, and Rizzo and the charity workers to spread happiness and joy in London. Scrooge then goes to Cratchit's house and then putting on his dumb demeanor before revealing Lean intends to raise Bob's salary and pay off his mortgage. Dickens then narrates how Scrooge became the second father to Tiny Tim, who escaped from death. Scrooge and the Cratchits and the neighbors all celebrate Christmas, and thus the movie ends. Now, this movie I remember watching as a young kid growing up, and it's one of these Muppet movies I really, really enjoy a whole lot. It's really enjoyable. It's really good for what this movie really is, and I really do love how the movie really pointed out. So, this is the first Muppet film that was co-produced by released by Walt Disney Pictures, and the rights to the Muppets featured in the film would later be purchased by the studio's parent company. In addition to theatrical releases, the film's also been made to home-to-video formats. It was first released on VHS in the US on November 5th, 1993, and then the UK in 1993, and later DVDs in both countries. So the first US DVD release was on 2002, with the full screen only format that Walt Disney Home Entertainment re-released the film in the US on DVD in 2005, conjunction with Kermit the Frog's 50th anniversary celebration. This time the DVD combined maintained both full screen and widescreen presentations, as the UK has also had similar releases. Of course, Walt Disney Home Entertainment Studios released the 20th anniversary of the collector's edition, the Blu-ray and digital copy, in 2012. But unfortunately, this is probably gonna, disappoint a lot of you guys. The release does not include the film's extended cut. However, the song When Love Is Gone is accompanied by the scene, can be viewed entirely on the full screen of the anniversary edition of the Christmas Carol, Muppet Christmas Carol, although the cut is in the format. So, I mean, what I'm gonna definitely say is that song, When Love Is Gone, was sung by the female character Belle, and she laments that Scrooge's love for money has replaced his love for her, and the song itself, unfortunately, was cut from the original 1992 theatrical edition from the film of, Jeffrey Kaisenberg, of Walt Disney Studios, who believed the scene would not appeal to young viewers, and said the song was only played during the film's end credits scene. So, Brian Henson objected to this decision, concluding the song, The Love We Found, was directed of the counterpart. Now, Henson commented When Love Is Gone was not a theatrical release, was sent missing from some copies of the movie, which is a real shame. So that title the song with it can only be included in the home media releases of the Muppet Christmas Carol. Unfortunately, they are no longer out of print, but it is included with the deleted scenes in the extras of the movie, now available to Disney Plus subscribers. So the song is later included in all of the 1993 VHS and Laserdisc releases of the film, at least one UK and one VHS release. Now, however, the Laserdisc version only includes the widescreen presentation of the song. So, the releases of the movie do retain the song, but only in the 90-minute full screen version of the movie, and not in the 86-minute of the movie as well. I mean, I think this is one of the most disappointing things that's ever happened with Muppet Christmas Carol, that they removed that song, When Love Is Gone, because it included, they take out the whole scene of, Scrooge's, past when he was in love with Belle and when she left him. I mean, they completely removed that scene from the other releases that they have throughout the years. I mean, that's quite disappointing, because they said it would not appeal to younger viewers, but that is kind of actually really disappointing, because that's showing us why Scrooge is the way he is. I mean, I really wish they didn't cut that part off, because then if they didn't cut that part off and it was still there, then that way it would have been more interesting. But not only that, it would also have more added to it. But not only that, it would also basically show why Scrooge is the way he is. Like, I mean, I'm pretty disappointed that they would cut that off, in other releases of the movie. Like, that's very, 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 very unfortunate. I was lucky enough, I even had, I think, a DVD release that with this song. The one I do have, I believe it is, but I'm not really sure. But, I mean, you could find the clips of this on YouTube if you want to see it, and for those who haven't seen it, you're for yourselves. Now, I guess with that being the case, that being said, it's a great movie. It's a good Christmas movie. Great adaptation with Muppets, I may add. Like, the Wizard of Oz one, I think, even though that one did try, I wasn't a fan of it when I got older, but as a kid, I liked it. Now, with this one, I think it's a lot better, because it's more based on the story and all that. The original, the original story of this played out well. This one did as well. So, yeah. If you have not seen this movie, go watch this movie. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to guarantee you right now, you are not going to be disappointed at all. Once you see it, you're not going to be disappointed. And yeah, what do you guys think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this movie a lot better. Feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're new to this channel, Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I will be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out.